It's Pastor Robin here, and I have a wonderful guest, my good friend and ministry colleague at MCC Richmond, John Broughman. John was our preacher on November 28th for the first Sunday of Advent and also AIDS Awareness Sunday. And John did a great job of weaving together the theme of hope, which is that first Sunday of Advent, with the AIDS Awareness Sunday. And I've invited John to tell us a little bit about it. John, just how did you weave all that together in the great message you gave us?
I would like to say that it was all my idea, but I took a class this past semester on AIDS, the impact that it has on the community, the world, and the individual.
Oh, yes.
And part of the assignment was hope and how we have hope today compared to what we had at the very beginning, and all of the people that has made that possible. So it was a very fitting, and it was very easy for me to weave together, since I had already written a paper in school for that particular subject.
Oh, that's great. I remember in the sermon, we had this wonderful backdrop, which we can't show at the moment, that Chuck Bateman gave us of hope, the four letters of hope. And you were able to use that really wonderfully. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Each of the letters meant something. And H stood for heroes, because there have been so many heroes throughout the history of HIV and AIDS in this country that has made where we're at today where we're at. But the heroes also looked at their opportunities, which was the O in hope. And they didn't stop there, because then they saw the possibilities, which is the P.
Yes, right.
And then the final word was expectations. And that's where the action comes in, because they were expecting something to happen.
Yes.
Hope is actually the fulfillment of something that they're expecting or believing to happen.
And that is, of course, grounded in our faith as believers, people of faith, that we know God's at work in the world through us, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Many times we often don't realize that God is even in work in some of the things that may not seem like they're pleasant at the time.
Yes.
And I have to be very honest with you. When this first disease came out, it halted so many things that were happening.
Yes.
And it affected so many people.
Right.
And we didn't see any of the good that was coming out of that. And so that's why I said that all of these people were heroes, because they stood up during a time when it was really hard to stand up.
Yes.
And so they made it possible for us to get funding for education and funding for health care.
Nice.
And they moved it along. And so each person, whether they are alive today or whether they are not here with us in spirit, was a hero in proclaiming that message.
Yes. And you know, one of the great things that happened at the end of your sermon was that we signed the AIDS quilt. Here, every year we do this at this service, and people came forward and wrote down names of their heroes.
That is correct.
And it was quite moving to see how many people in our congregation that Sunday came forward with that.
The other thing that was very moving is that all of the people that I don't see every Sunday that came that Sunday.
Yes.
And during the service or after the service, they came up and said how much it meant for them to hear that their loved ones, and even people that they know today, are heroes.
Yes.
Because so many times this disease has taken that away from people and put them in places that they should not be.
That's right. Well, it was a powerful Sunday, and I really thank you for the contribution you made to our understanding about how hope is still alive.
Yes,
and continues to live.
Well, I also thank you all for allowing me the opportunity to share that message, because I grew also in looking at and preparing for that particular message.
That's wonderful. Well, this is another in our series, as you know, to help you understand and know about what happened at MCC Richmond every Sunday, even if you are unable to be there. A reminder that John's sermon in its complete version is online at our website, www.mccrichmond.org. And again, this coming Sunday, we'll have another message. I'll be preaching this time on the second Sunday of Advent. I'm doing a three-part series on spiritual pregnancy. And this one is about our ancestors, or where do we come from? What's our stock? So please join us at church if you can, or next week here on this YouTube site, or by listening to the sermon online. May your days in between now and then be blessed, and may you know always that God loves you.